Happy Thanksgiving and welcome to Recyclist. It's November 24th, 2023. I'm your host, Eric Provost, and this is your weekly roundup of all the biggest news stories within the world of waste, gas, and energy presented by Diamond Scientific. First up, and as always, let's take a quick look at the stock market, where for the week of Thanksgiving, there has been a lot of movement within the world of waste, gas, and energy as far as the stock market is concerned. A lot of trades being made and a lot of volume moving around the stock market. As of November 24th, 2023, Waste Management is trading at a volume of 550,614. Enbridge Incorporated is trading at a volume of 1.684 million. Dominion Energy is up to trading at a volume of 1.650 million. Chevron Corp is up to 3.861 million. And BP is trading at a volume currently of 4.233 million. Again, a lot of moves being made in the stock market this past week, and moving into the news, we're actually going to be staying with financials for just a moment, because the third quarter financial results for Gevo were just released, reporting that the company has completed a planned capacity expansion of its renewable natural gas operations and is in the formal due diligence stage with the U.S. Department of Energy regarding a loan guarantee application. During the briefing, Patrick Gruber, the CEO of Gevo, specifically discussed the company's RNG business in Northwest Iowa, noting the previously announced capacity expansion from 355,000 metric meter BTUs to 400,000 metric meter BTUs was completed during the third quarter. Gevo sold 81,207 BTUs of RNG during this quarter, generating approximately $4.5 million in revenue. Up next in the news, sustainable aviation fuel manufacturer SKYNRG just received a $218 million investment from Macquarie Asset Management Specialists. The investment will support SKYNRG's next phase of growth and help achieve its goal to become a major sustainable aviation fuel producer throughout the development and operation of SAF production facilities. To date, SKYNRG has secured partnerships with, amongst others, KLM Royal Dutch Airlines and Boeing, with envisaged long-term commitments of up to £4 billion in sustainable aviation fuel purchases. And now moving to Seattle, the city recently announced it would be the recipient of a $4 million grant from the EPA for solid waste infrastructure projects. This is part of more than $100 million in announced EPA funds to be awarded to states, communities, and territories across the country to expand their existing recycling infrastructure and waste management systems, with Seattle being one of only 2 communities in the Pacific Northwest to be awarded the grant. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell said, quote, "One of our greatest responsibilities is to steward our environment and its natural resources by advancing meaningful climate actions through our investments, policies, and practices. Our sustainability efforts are reducing our carbon footprint, diverting waste from landfills, and prolonging the life cycle of our natural materials, creating a more resilient environment and healthier communities." End quote. And now moving to the U.S. Senate floor, U.S. Senator Tom Carper of Delaware, chairman of the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee and co-chair of the Senate Recycling Caucus, called for a national composting strategy to help reduce food waste in landfills. Earlier this year, Senator Carper, along with Senators Shelley Moore Capito and John Boozman, introduced 2 bills which would improve the EPA's ability to gather data on our nation's recycling systems and allow the EPA to create a pilot program to improve recycling services in underserved areas. In April 2023, both of these bipartisan pieces of legislation were passed with unanimous support, awaiting the next stage. Senator Carper said, quote, "If we are going to achieve a national recycling rate of about 50% by 2030, which is our goal, there's more we can and must do." End quote. And just a reminder, Recyclist is brought to you by Diamond Scientific, an industry leader in gas analysis, instrumentation, and solutions. Make sure to visit them online at diamondsci.com. That's diamondsci.com, or call them at 321-223-7500. Now on with the news. And sticking with the Environmental Protection Agency for just a couple more minutes, a coalition of over 20 organizations and companies recently launched what they are calling the Partnership for Electric Pathways to work with the US EPA to secure a viable pathway for renewable electricity to get credit under the EPA's new Renewable Fuel Standard program. A letter sent this past week to EPA Administrator Michael Regan said, quote, "We steadfastly support EPA's most recent proposal to effectuate the agency's 2010 and 2014 regulations to allow for electricity derived from eligible biomass resources to qualify as RFS renewable fuel," end quote. The finalization of EPA's 2022 proposed Electric Pathway Framework regulations would allow for electricity derived from eligible biomass resources and used to power electric vehicles to qualify as renewable fuel and obtain credit called ERINs. This would have manifold benefits to U.S. sustainability and energy security goals, including providing an incentive for landfills and farms to capture methane that would otherwise be emitted into the atmosphere. Now moving to Arizona, MachineX Technologies recently announced the reopening of a single-stream recycling facility in Scottsdale in partnership with Republic Services. This following an unfortunate accident from 2019 that led to a complete loss of the facility. However, the new system installed in Scottsdale is increasing capacity from processing 25 to 40 tons per hour. A representative for MachineX said, quote, "The river recycling facility is a critical piece for recycling infrastructure in the East Valley and even across the entire Phoenix metro area. MachineX is excited to see the facility back up and operating and is very proud to have supported Republic Services throughout their rebuilding effort," end quote. And lastly, the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation announced a grant of $500,000 to go toward Liberty Tire Recycling's Nashville facility. This is going toward a project costing approximately $1.6 million that will help divert approximately 1 million scrap tires each year from ending up in landfills. Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation Deputy Commissioner Greg Young said, quote, "We are seeing great advances in repurposing tires for environmental benefit, and this grant for Liberty Tire Recycling is a great example. Programs like this not only help clean up sites of used tires, they involve innovative new uses for them. We congratulate Liberty Tire Recycling on this project," end quote. And that has been your Recyclist News Update for November 24th, 2023, presented by Diamond Scientific. I've been your host, Eric Provost, and I'll see you back here next week for a brand new episode of Recyclist. Thank you, and once again, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.